Debbyites, we are back once again to talk about our favourite show, Outlander. It's been almost a year since season 3 finished, and we have been waiting with bated breath for season 4 to arrive, and it's finally here. The Outlander is over. Now, this year, we thought we'd do something a little different and shake things up a bit. And given that we're talking about our favourite married couple on TV, why not have a real life married couple here at Gold Derby debate and talk about your favorite show from week to week? So that's what we're doing this year, everybody. And without further ado.
Hi, I'm Paula. I have been a massive fan of Outlander. I wait with bated breath every year for the new season to start, and I have read every single book. I actually did it back to back without pause. So I am so looking forward to joining everybody on these chats and debating whether the show is better than the books with Rob.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. This will be a kind of different perspectives. You know, we've always had these chats from a perspective of people who have never actually read the books, but this year we'll have a book reader who also loves the show, and me, who has never read a single page from the books and doesn't intend to, and really appreciates the show for what it is. And I mean, the honest truth is just because I just don't really read that much, because, you know, that's just how I am. So anyway, let's just get stuck into this, because the Droughtlander has been pretty freaking ridiculous. Like, the fans are suffering. Every year they suffer with these really long hiatuses.
You do, but there's always Netflix. You go back season 1, episode 1, you go through it, then you usually linger on about the wedding episode. You watch that a couple of times, then you keep going.
Yeah, see, if all of you massive like Uber fans love that wedding episode, don't you?
Oh God, yes. It's the epitome of romance. It's what what most girls would love.
Yeah, I mean, see, for me, like, I don't even think I've seen the wedding episode because I wasn't really into the show in season 1. But what really got me was, like, towards the end of season 1, when we started seeing this crazy, ridiculous, amazing performance come out of Sam Heughan, someone who I'd never heard of before. I was blown away by his performance in season 1.
Yeah, that was the best. And but what I love seeing in season 1 and for most of season 2, you see them get together and they're a team. That's what every married couple is. They're a team and they have each other's back and they support each other despite their differences. Their differences make them stronger.
Mm. Yeah, and then, like, with season 2, that's when the show really grabbed me, when they were in Paris. And, you know, it's no lie that I thought season 3 wasn't quite as good as season 2.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that season 4 will hopefully kind of go back to that level that I really admired in season 2. Now, it's no lie that you and I have seen quite a large chunk of season 4 already. Thank you very much, stars. Really appreciate it. But we will be talking about this week to week so as to not spoil anything. So I think actually what I might do is just recap what episode 1, season 4 was all about. It's called America the Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And according to Stars's description, it says, we pick up Jamie and Claire in the colony of North Carolina, trying to secure passage home to Bonnie, Scotland. During their journey, they cross paths with the target of a manhunt, Stephen Bonnet, a charming pirate and smuggler. Bonnet, desperately needing to evade the authorities, enlists Jamie and Claire's aid, a decision that results in disastrous consequences. Later, Jamie and Claire attend a dinner party hosted by Wilmington's elite, where Jamie receives a generous offer from the governor of North Carolina that captures his imagination, while Claire provides insight into the opportunities the colonies in the New World hold. She warns Jamie about the darker side of the American dream.
Wow, that just sums up the anticipation for every book reader, especially with that name, Stephen Bonnet. That would have every book reader on the edge of their seats waiting to see. Like, I know we've seen some pictures on the internet and on Twitter, but what's he like? Is he really going to be as bad? I've even heard some, you know, little whispering on the internet. Is he bad as Jack Black? Is he this season's Jack Black? or Blackjack, sorry, Randall. So that just sums up the episode perfectly. I was enthralled by it. I think it was wonderfully done, and you sort of get thrown back into it all. And yeah, I was on the edge of my seat.
Who's the actor that plays Stephen Bonnet? I just can't remember. I'll have to look it up while we're talking.
Look it up while we're talking. Yeah, but he
So,
did a really good performance, I must admit.
But yeah, he was good. What did you think? Did he meet your expectations as to what you were expecting after reading the books?
Oh yeah, he did. He in the first scene that you see him, he comes across really suave and charming, you know, down on his luck. And as the episode progresses and you get to the last scene, and I don't want to put too many spoilers out there in case people have got it recorded and haven't watched it yet, but that last scene, you see it completely 180. And I just must say that last scene was filmed beautifully.
Yeah.
I really liked that one.
So it's Ed Spielers, and he apparently was in Downton Abbey. I don't remember him from that.
I'm pretty sure he was season 1, and he played one of the is it waiters, footmen?
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, the blonde one, yeah. I think okay, I know who that is now.
The blonde one, yeah.
All right. So yeah. I had no idea. I don't know who Stephen Bonnet is. Didn't have any expectations, but I really kind of enjoyed having him join the episode, especially the end scene. Actually, let's talk about the ending scene because it was done very differently, very violently, but also obviously with no audio from the actual scene itself. It had the song playing over it, which is something different. It's not generally what we would expect from Outlander. It was kind of didn't really fit in with the time period, but absolutely kind of made you feel very tense and nervous about what was happening. You already knew what was going to happen because you had read the books, but can you give us some commentary for people who haven't read the books? What was going on there?
So basically, you've got Jamie and Claire. They're headed down a river, headed towards their next stop. No spoilers. And so as they're going down the river, Stephen Bonnet is a pirate. That's what he was going to be hung for in the beginning. And so he comes on the boat, and because he's heard of all their good luck, and he basically comes on the boat to rob them. And it is in the book, it's such a beautifully written yet violent piece of work. And I found in this one particular scene, even though there was violence, you had this song over it, which was juxtaposed to what was happening in the actual scene. I actually really enjoyed it. I have no other words other than the fact I thought it was beautifully shot and well done.
Well, let's talk about some spoilers now. So if people haven't seen it yet, maybe you might just want to stop watching this video until you've seen the episode. But let's just go through a few of the spoilers. So one of them is we see the construction of standing stones in North Carolina. So what's going on there? Okay,
stop. I had no idea that was coming. I actually had to go back and rewatch that little bit. And then I'm like, oh, I know what's going to happen there. And I know what's going to happen. But again, this is spoilers for like episodes towards the end of the season, I'm guessing.
Let's not go there then. But so that's an important element.
That's important, yes. Okay. Yes.
And so Marcelly's pregnant.
Yep. That is pretty self-explanatory because, you know, Fergus, Marcely, they're together, they're married, it's bound to happen.
So you saw that coming because of it's in the books.
Yeah.
And, so Bonnet betrays the Frasers by stealing their jewels and killing Leslie and steals Jamie's ring from Claire. That's all. So that's huge, obviously. And that's going to set up the rivalry between them now throughout the whole season.
Yeah, basically. And he's a reoccurring appearance in Jamie and Claire's lives for numerous reasons. But, you know, so as Claire's trying to keep these two rings of these two men who were so precious to her, she actually goes to swallow them, which is what happens in the book. And I thought Katrina Balfe did that really, really well. Like, my heart was breaking as I saw her trying to save these two things were the most precious things to her. And then, so she's trying to swallow them, and then she coughs them back up. And then he takes the one from the love of her life. So she has Frank's ring, but she is now without Jamie's. And you can see that breaks her heart. You can see it on her face. And then you see Leslie dead in front of her.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was just, yeah, I'm just like, what's going on? But anyway, I really enjoyed it. So look, I think if we could now just like take a bit of a step back and let's look at the show from a higher level. The first thing we must discuss, as
Yes.
I do every year, and I know you weren't totally happy with this.
Mm.
I agree. Were the new credits?
Yes. But since watching a few of the episodes, it's warm to me. I always enjoy seeing new credits, especially when they change it up to suit the style of the season. It's the basic setup for what's going to happen and what's going to come. But yeah, it's not music that I'm used to hearing. But now that I've watched it a few times, Outlander is one show where I actually watch the credits every episode, and you get into trouble if you fast forward through them.
Yeah, I do. But it is like kind of like Game of Thrones. We generally like to watch the credits all the time. Like, I think the problem with these credits for me is I know what Ben McCreary's doing. It's all about kind of customizing the credits for the season and the location. But like those credits and that song are so beautiful and so iconic now that when they changed them up a bit, especially for season 3, and they gave them that kind of Caribbean theme,
Yes.
I wasn't a fan of that. And now I think it's even worse. I don't really like that kind of Southern American twang that it now has, but I see what he's doing, and it's just something that we just accept.
It'll grow on you. It'll
Maybe
grow
it will.
on you.
Maybe it will. But
I
it's
still
like,
listen to season 2 in the car.
yeah, and I loved what happened in season 2 and how that was given that kind of French undertone, but nothing will ever beat the original, the OG.
Oh, hands down, that's the best.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The new setting as well is really exciting. They're in the new world, they're in America, and obviously towards the end of the episode, the phrases kind of stake their claim and decide that they will be staying in America and going back to Bonnie, Scotland. That's going to set up now however many seasons to come where they're in the US. That's exciting, I suppose. Is that something that you are most looking forward to exploring this season?
To be honest, not really. Like, that's where the books are going. That's where the books went. So I get it. But I really enjoyed seeing 18th century Scotland. But, you know, I am intrigued to see where it goes, and I'm intrigued to see how they portray all these different locations and how they film them. So I'm intrigued from that perspective. But I was sad to see Scotland sort of sail off into the distance.
Yeah, it is sad. But you know, it is what it is. And the other thing I was thinking about with when I was watching the first episode is something that that I used to chat about with Amanda all the time. Amanda, who's done plenty of these chats with me over the years, is we would go over the whole Emmy stuff. And I just want to say to the Emmy voters that you gave the show one lousy nomination in costumes, and you couldn't even let the show win for that.
Yeah, I know. Look, season 2, hands down, they should have got the Emmy for season 2.
Yeah.
Going from I know we're backtracking, but going from France to Scotland, and season 2 should have got the Emmy. But you're right. There are just so many ways that this show can be honoured, and not just in costumes. Even though the costumes this season are looking pretty fine too, I must admit.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the costume category, and I personally think they should have won that by now.
Yeah, it's pretty disgraceful. Like, as far as I'm concerned, from what we've seen so far for season 4, the Outlander should be nominated for costumes, production design, music, Katrina Balfe, Sam Heughan at the very least. Ain't gonna happen, but you know, you can dream.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And look, finally, I remember that you had seen some footage from the recent Paley Fest. I don't know if you watched that. I hadn't seen it, but is there anything in particular, like maybe one or two highlights that you can kind of pinpoint from watching that you learnt about this new season, or that you found really amusing that you just want to share with our viewers?
Well, admittedly, the cast were pretty tight-lipped in the Paley Fest, so it was all generalised talk about basically what we've just spoken about, you know, going to America. Rollo. Everyone's really excited to see Rollo. But no, it was pretty general, you know. But you know me, I like the specifics of the show, and I can't talk about any of them because they're spoilers. So they're the things that I'm looking forward to. Then for those who have read the books, they know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And I can't say anymore because they're spoilers.
All right, we'll leave it at that because I don't know what's coming either, and we're just going to have to wait and see. Derbyites, stick with us because really, look around the internet. You're not going to find better coverage about this, your favourite show, than you do here at Gold Derby, and we are going to bring you as much coverage as possible. Don't forget to check out our recent gallery about the top 12 most romantic scenes, which I had a little help in writing. And and then, you know, there'll just be more and more of this, and hopefully we'll see Katrina Balfe get that next consecutive nomination at the Golden Globes in a month when those nominations are announced. And, you know, we'll be back next week to talk about episode 2.
Don't mind me.
Oh, that's right. I'll just, what is that?
This, and I thank Stars PR. This is my beautiful Outlander blanket that I go to bed with every night. So
yeah, I noticed that. Like, yes, thank you, Stars PR, for the lovely gifts that we get from this show. It keeps it's happy wife, happy life, basically.